welcome to an everyday canines video. In this episode on running contacts, I'm going to show you another exercise to build confidence on the dog walk, but it's also going to put in a foundational skill you will need as you are training your running contacts. So though this is a game mainly for dogs that need more confidence and for puppies, well, when I say puppies, I mean young dogs. We're looking at dogs that are over 9 months now. This also is a good game when you're going to be starting to train your running contacts, and I will explain that as you see. So, we've got our dogs happily on the dog walk. What we now want is them to understand how to maneuver on a dog walk. Dog walk planks are obviously quite narrow, but we are going to want our dog to understand the narrowness and to be aware of where their feet are. I had problems years ago with my lab because he had no real idea where his back feet were when he was on a dog walk. And so they often went off. And now I know that you actually have to teach the dogs about their back feet and how to move on a plank so that they can turn and do things on a plank with confidence, but also if it goes wrong, they can recover from it. So what I want to teach my dog now, and sit, good girl, wait. So we've been doing just up and down, getting the dog more confident. We've probably got, at this stage, I've probably got my dog coming to about here on a plank and it can jump off, so we know it's a gap. I now want to teach my dog to do circles on the plank, and what this is going to teach my dog is how to turn and negotiate the plank. It's teaching them how wide that plank is, how much room they've got, and it's also teaching them more skills about proprioception and understanding of, this is this big. So, Swift, can you come off? Now for Magpie, sit. This is actually quite a tough game. Right, can you turn? Because she's long-bodied. Swift does this really easy. Whoop, see? So you see, I'm just guiding her, going to be guiding her around with a treat. So let's begin. Okay, so I've got a treat in my hand, and I'm just going to ask her to turn around, and I'm going to stick with the lowest part of the plank. So if she does fall off, no worries, it's not even going to go far. Good girl, you chose to turn yourself. So we're just getting that flexibility and understanding. So you see, she's getting better even now we're moving on. Good girl. Now, you might be saying, well, that's all very well with a small dog. What about a big dog? I have seen this done with border collies and bigger dogs. It is all just about understanding where your feet are and being able to place your feet in a specific position. If you have got a big dog that hasn't got a lot of flexibility, and that's the thing, if they've got not a lot of flexibility here, what you can ask them to do is to turn around in almost like an oval shape. Rather than a tight circle, they can come and turn like this. That is fine if your dog cannot turn as tightly because it hasn't got the flexibility. But do you see now how she came up and she turned herself? Now, what we're teaching as we do this, and we go back, what we're teaching is how to turn around on the plank. And you say, well, why do we need that? They're not going to do that. But I'm teaching them about the size of the plank. I'm teaching them confidence with their feet, which is such a vital part of the game. And I'm also teaching them that it's okay if you fall off. That one she came off and jumped back on. I'd rather she did a tight circle, but that was okay too because she was trying. And the reason I'm teaching this, apart from all the confidence things, which are going to be amazing, and this is going to be amazing for your seesaw too, when we get to doing more running contacts, I'm going to be wanting to ask my dog to come up. Swift, could you get off, my love? Come up and turn around to set themselves up, because initially I'm not going to want to be doing even this full plank. And even when we get further back, until we get to that lower plank, which could take us quite a while in a few sessions, I'm mainly going to be asking my dogs to come up, turn around and go back down again. So I want my dogs to be able to come up, turn around and be ready. Now, if I haven't taught that, the dog's going to struggle with that and not know where its feet are and risk falling off. But if I have taught that, it's easy for the dog. Dog comes up, and you'll see, because all my dogs have done this, they come up, they reset themselves, ready to go again. So it's helping you as part of your training. Now, even when my dogs are now, Swift is now 4, Sparrow is 7, they both know how to do running contacts. Sparrow's questionable, but she doesn't know what running contact is. I still do this game sometimes when I just want to proof end behaviour, where I ask them just to come up and turn round. So this is a skill I'm going to be using all their lives. and I want them to be able to perform it without any risks. So there's one last thing I want to show you before we finish on this exercise. We've got the dogs turning around nicely on here. I just want to show you one last thing, that is the bailing out. So I want my dogs to understand how to bail off a dog walk safely if for some reason they aren't going to manage to stay on. So it could be they've missed their footing, it could be a gust of wind, it could be something goes wrong with the dog walk, or it could be another dog interfering, who knows. I want my dogs to go, I've got to get off this dog walk, I know how to do it safely. So we've been actually teaching this the whole way through these games. The whole way through these games we've been teaching this without us even realising it, but now we can add a cue to it if we want, or you can just do it from here just to make a little bit more height so your dog understands. And what we're doing is we are showing our dog how to get off. Okay, you ready? Off, search. By throwing the treat out. As I said, we've been doing this all through these games, but now we can put it to a cue and make it a bit more, okay, off. So we can actually tell our dog to get off if we need to, and we might want to do that. There could be some emergency where they're going up the dog walk and then we go, oh, it's not safe, we need them to get off. Off, I need you to go off. Ready? Off. Good girl. Now you're looking at this going, oh, but aren't I teaching them how to do a dodgy contact? No, because I'm taking them from up here and we're taking them off the side. The dog is not going to ever do a 90-degree turn on a dog walk like this, not like that. Okay, ready? Off. But what we are teaching them is that it's okay to jump off and get off the side safely, and that it's okay and that I can do it safely, and it's just basically, it's a bit like when we teach people how to fall off a horse. I know that sounds controversial, that sounds ridiculous. So why do you teach people to fall off a horse? But there is a way to fall off a horse and there's a way to fall off a horse. And if you teach them how to do it properly, they're less likely to injure themselves and hurt themselves. Off. So that's why we play these games. It's all about teaching that little safety element, and it's an element I never had in my Labrador and with Merlin actually. And Merlin actually fell off quite badly once off a dog walk, and part of it was because he didn't know how to fall off a dog walk. So he lost his footing, and instead with my other dogs, if they lose their footing on a dog walk, they literally just bail. I had it with Sparrow in a competition. She turned around to look at me because I was so far behind, and I said, and she lost her footing, so she just jumped off. That was safe. I checked her over, made sure she was okay because it was from the top, but she landed, she did it properly. Whereas with Merlin, because he didn't know how to jump off a dog walk, when he tripped and fell and lost his footing, he just fell off on his side and landed on his side. So this is another little element. It teaches them, okay, I'm going to fall off, I've got to do this like this and I'll be okay. Now you've got these elements, we can move on to actually starting to teach a running contact. Yay! So if you've enjoyed this video, you might like to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you can click on the bell which will give you notifications of new videos, and you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon.